Sir Les Patterson, cultural attaché. A lot of the stuff's going to go over my head. He's on the Don Lane show. Let's get to it. Late February 1983. Yeah, it's been super interesting. I think this is my fourth actual video of Les. Mind you, those are all first reactions, so I haven't really done any prior research on him, his character, and myself as a Canadian. I'm going to do my best to understand the comedy, but there's certain things that are going to be in the Australian realm of comedy, specifically when it comes to Barry Humphries, that I'm simply not going to register, especially on the first, second, third, fourth watch. Like, he's got a really great subtlety to him. Anyways, let's check this one out. Don Lane Show. 1983, baby. Let's go. Oh, I forgot to mention. What a day. What a lovely day. So from what I see, like, his characterization of this Sir Les is as of a complete slob. Like, he splutters all over the place. And I could probably do, like, that's one thing I could probably do without of. Like, for the comedic sake, the spitting. Like, maybe once, but, like, he kind of keeps it up. And he's spitting everywhere. Slobber is coming down his coat. But I get that. But it seems to me to be a scathing kind of taking the piss out of politicians. Smarmy politicians. Like, totally self-indulgent, like the worst politicians that we have. Like, that's who he's taking the piss out of. But he does it so geniusly. Great. Like, these guys, like, they're so self-important. They think they're doing all of these things for society, when in reality they're just a piece of shit.
What a beautiful, warm reception, Don.
Yes, certainly was nice, and it's. I must say, this is our first time that we've had the chance to ever really sit here and talk like this.
It's a terrific privilege, Don, because my very good lady, Gwen Patterson, my lady wife, is your number one fan.
Is this her here?
No.
That's not Gwen Patterson. And look how he puts his feet up on the table. I don't see the rubber DILDO in the pants.
I might say this is...
I'm sorry.
This is Samantha. Sam is my girl.
She's a lady of the night. Lady of the road.
Friday and research assistant. She's, until recently, been a top model in Bangkok, and I picked her up on the way out here, and she takes dictation. She's very, very useful when you're getting ideas, like I am constantly. If something comes up in the middle of the night, she's very, very...
She's getting ideas constantly. If something comes up in the middle of the night of a sexual nature...
She takes dictation. Is she fast?
Dictation?
Well, she's quite fast enough for an old bloke like me.
I suppose.
No worries. Good health.
She doesn't
Sheesh!
really dress like a secretary, but I suppose then that might be Bangkokian or something.
Well, it is, and I have an image to maintain. You know,
Yes,
she wanted to wear something a bit more raunchy, but I thought for a show like this, and my wife is watching, Gwen Patterson. She never leaves the home, unfortunately. She suffers from this agoraphobia or whatever. She hasn't been out of our home in Melbourne for many, many years, but she's a lovely girl, Gwenny. How are you, Gwen? And I'm talking to Don. I've got the autograph books here, by the way.
Oh.
If afterwards you'd be kind enough. I've got my son, Craig, and my...
Oh, certainly. I'd be very... It'd be a delight.
daughter,
I'd love
Karen.
to.
This is a big thrill for me, you know. Well,
Right.
but you wouldn't think... You wouldn't think a bloke in my position could be a bit stage struck, but I am, Donald, I must say.
Yes.
A bloke in my position.
No worries, eh?
No worries, eh?
I must apologise. When I shook your hand,
Yeah, it was a bit messy there, right?
Yes,
What
there's
is
a bit
that?
of cheese on it. I've just been to a tasting at the Australian Cheese Board. I sit on the cheese board, as a matter of fact. And that can be uncomfortable, those little flags get up your ass. But I've got a bit of cheese here. I wonder if the camera can see it.
You say those little flags get up your ass? Like, so he's eating the cheese, including the little flag that comes with it. Les.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. And I can tell
It's a little camembert there.
A little,
isn't it?
yes. It's a New Zealand camembert. And the smell, I can pick a South Island from a North Island.
Can you?
You know, I think South, North. It's incredible, really.
There's a fine distinction like wines, you're saying.
Yeah,
Is that it?
there is. Sometimes you're in the mood for a bit of the North, and sometimes a bit of the South. It's a simple thing. You with me, fellas?
Yeah. May we talk about the thing that's on everyone's lips, and I'm sure someone like yourself who has mixed and mingled with the top echelons of governments,
You couldn't
traveled
say
the
it
world.
better, Don.
Well, what?
So for somebody of yourself is mixed and mingled with the top echelons of government and politicians, you couldn't have said it better yourself.
Top echelons of governments,
You couldn't
traveled
say
the
it
world.
better, Don.
Well, what about the political scene at the moment in Australia?
Well, what about it? You know, here we are in Australia, and it's a dramatic.
That's a great politician's answer. What can you say about the current political situation here in Australia? Oh, what about it? All right. Totally ambivalent. Total non-answer.
Time in our history, and we're faced really with a choice between a farmer with lockjaw and a dry drunk. I mean, it's as simple as that, isn't it, eh? As simple as that. And they're both very nice blokes. I know them personally, and I have to sit on the fence. I'm a career diplomat, and I have to keep bipartisan. Are you with me?
Where are you placed at the moment as a career
Well,
diplomat?
I'm swinging, you know, except when I sit down. But I have to sit on the fence. Because I'm back in Melbourne, sitting on the fence comes pretty naturally to us at the moment, you know, sitting up there dobbing in the people who use the hoses.
Yeah, right.
And I can tell you, if you're an Australian politician, shafting your next-door neighbour comes second nature. There's an old lady next door. As soon as she picks up the hose, I'm going to give her...
Like, I assume the political establishment must have really disliked Sir Les, like, right? Like, he's totally taking the piss out of these kind of self-righteous, self-important, and totally useless politicians. And, okay, listen. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to explain anything about Sir Les. Like, the viewers there right now are a lot more informed of Australian politics, Australian media, Australian comedy than I am. I'm just an average, simple Canadian, giving my thoughts on it, my opinion on it, my perspective on it. So don't roast me too badly on that front.
Buggery, I'm telling you. I mean that, please. Please. I mean that in a refined way, but I'll tell you what, you know, I've been called in really as an advisor. They wanted to forget about old Les Patterson. They tried to do a Vince scare on me, viewers. You know, they got shot of me. And then the time comes when Les is the man of the moment. And I think if there was a poll throughout Australia as to who was our most popular statesman, I reckon I'd come pretty high on the list, eh? You with me? Listen to that. There's the consensus of opinion.
Well, why haven't you ever used, excuse me, can we have an ashtray for Mr. Patterson?
Yes, please.
The ashtray's on its way. We had to up the budget to get this for you.
Very good. However,
which way is it going to go, though? You want to make a prediction on the election, or would you rather stay out of it?
At the moment, it's very, very difficult, you know.
So to be completely honest, in Australia, is the leader is it a prime minister, same as Canada? I'm really ignorant to be honest, about Australian politics.
Here you are.
Mel himself said that to me the other day. He said, frankly, Les, are they going to vote for that bloke, Bob? And I said, no way, Mel. I said, they're too scared he'll give them all a job. But I mean, you know, are you with me? But they are. But
Excuse me, there are a lot of...
Who wants a job, for Christ's sake?
There's a lot...
Shoot that comment right to 2024.
There are a lot of realistic things coming out of your mouth at the moment, but the lady's not taking any notes.
No, she's jotting down this and that, darling, Sammy. She's fantastic, eh? Anyway,
tell me about this award. Are you looking for a political post? I mean, you were a cultural attaché. You've spent your time in London now. What about...
Well, I've done my apprenticeship. I'm the most experienced man. You see, as Bob said to me the other day, he said, Les, you're bringing experience to bear, and they've both been seeking my advice behind...
So his character was a cultural attaché in London? I didn't really realize that.
The scenes, you know. I've been telling Bob to ease off, you know. I said, you know, take it easy, quietly go. You know, I've noticed he's been subdued because of me. Because of me.
Really?
And I've said, you know, stick to the old soda water. I said, when you're elected, it's a different matter, mate, you know. You can let her rip if necessary. I said you can get as full as...
You can let her rip. Stick to the old soda water until you get elected. Then let her rip. Get wasted, baby.
The Catholic school. He said to me, he said, don't mention those bastards to me. Are you with me? But,
I'll have no program tomorrow. That's it.
you know,
That's canceled, that's all.
that's lovely, though, because when you're in it, these people become human, you know? You look at them and you see them doing their adverts and you think these are remote people. To me, they're mates, really. I know their strengths. I know their weaknesses. And I need to relax a bit, you know. I have a little bit of
performance is so good,
activity from time to time. Yeah. And I had a phone call from my old mate Norm Gallagher the other day, as you know. He's having a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
I said, how is it there, Norm? He said, you'd
Norm
be amazed,
Gallagher.
Les. He said, an incredible number of my close personal friends are in here. He said, my big worry, this is old Norm talking to me, you know, I know the lot, you know, the whole spectrum. And he said, it's amazing, Les, he said, what worries me is if we have a prison riot, he said, you know, when they all bang their mugs on the bars.
Yeah.
He said, I might break my bone china. Because they've given him, of course, it's different treatment there. He's got the lovely cup and saucer, you know.
Right.
With me? Oh, no worries. He's been getting the Harry Miller treatment, but there it is.
How does...
See, like, I don't know who Harry Miller is. I don't know who he's referring to, so that stuff's going to go over my head automatically.
How does a person like yourself make the adjustment? Now, after all, you have an RSL background. You were a club manager. You were involved deeply in Australian entertainment. Were you not?
You've done your homework, Donald.
Well, I mean, I remember all of these things. I know that. But, I mean, you've done it. How do you make that transition from behind the scenes to stepping up front? I mean, you do open the show for Dame Edna.
Well, it's been an incredible story, really. You know, I began underneath. I don't know if the viewers realise this, but underneath, you know, I've got a lot of pizzazz at the moment, show business. But underneath, I'm a bit of a rough diamond, ladies and gentlemen. I am. Behind this veneer of international sophistication, you know, I'm a bit of a rough diamond, like Bob Hawke. You know, you scratch a bit, and underneath, you know, he's a pretty ordinary sort of a bloke too. But very ordinary, as a matter of fact. But well, I've been in the entertainment world. Then I went to Honkers, and where I was Australian cultural attaché for the tinted areas, and then. You know, the little Burke Street of the Pacific, as it's sometimes called. And then I went to London, the big job. But I'm looking forward to the Governor-Generalship, and I'm hoping whoever wins this election, and you know, it's like that, whoever wins it is going to think of Les Patterson for Governor-General, because I'm in with Dame Edna. She doesn't talk to me. As a matter of fact, she's...
Is Governor-General like another job in Australia that's essentially just pointless? Like the Canadian one?
Yeah, a little bit, you know, she doesn't like the odd, well...
That's the thing, like with this character and politicians in general, there's so many useless posts. There's so many, like, posts that they really don't do anything. They spend our money a lot. They expense the shit out of everything. They have to show up X amount of times in Parliament. Like senators. They get named to be senator and that's it. They're senator for life. They got to show up X number of times per year. And they're just useless. Useless. Don't do anything. Our government is totally corrupt. And it's one of the reasons why Canada and a lot of, Western social democracies are kind of starting to fail a little bit because the bureaucracy is growing so large and just unchecked. And there's so much waste. And I don't know, man.
However, let's be that as it may.
Do you change as a drinker?
I'm afraid she's a bit of a wowser when it comes to me.
Right, yeah, right.
However, I admire the woman, and I kick off her show, The Song of Australia.
That which is opening here. Let's see, we got the dates. The Melbourne Concert Hall, the Victorian
the
Arts
concert
Centre.
hall in Melbourne. We've done Sydney, it's been beautiful. And here we are in Moomba in Melbourne. The show is from Melbourne, but it goes out everywhere. And we're there, and on the 20th, I should say this,
Well,
can
from
I?
March the 2nd to the 12th, November the 3rd, you got extra shows.
You don't
on
have
the
to plug it,
16th,
it's sold
17th,
out,
18th.
Don. But I'll tell you what's not sold out.
You're one of the few
No.
that haven't.
I'll tell you what.
Humble brag.
Australia needs a good time, and it's never before in our history we needed to laugh so much. And if by accident we can make them smile, but of course there's a few people, particularly in Victoria and southeastern Australia, who haven't been smiling lately. And here's Les getting a bit serious now. On the 20th of March, Brian Humphrey and Dame Edna and me are doing a show for the bushfire relief on the 20th of March, folks. And that's at the Melbourne Concert Hall. The whole show is donated for the bushfire relief.
Okay.
And that's on it now.
Dame Edna would like that. She would like that.
Like it.
And
Want to make a toast?
just a little, if I may. No applause expected there, because this is something we want to do, and the theatre's been donated, the beautiful Melbourne Concert Hall, and the tickets from the 2nd of March at Mitchell Bass. And 9 did their job. I understand, by the way, Donald.
Like that?
And still a bit serious, old Les Patterson, because I got the serious side. You did that, you and Mike Walsh and the whole mob at 9, done that. At short notice, while having their lunch, the tragedy strikes, and they say, we're going to do that telethon tonight.
So, in the 80s, there's also has bushfires always been a significant issue? I know, like, recently, some horrific fires in Australia, as well as here in British Columbia, right? Like, Jasper National Park is on fire right now. And every summer, it seems, right now, it's just, everything's burning. I remember about 3 or 4 years ago now, I couldn't even go to work because it was too smoky and it was just unsafe for everybody. It's crazy what's happening. But also I have a lot of gratitude as well, because it's not that bad here. We still got it pretty good here on the island, kind of for the most part.
And everything gets cancelled, and boy, what a show that was, wasn't it, ladies and gentlemen? And they raised a fantastic amount. And so...
Sir Leslie Colin Patterson, the first time you've had a chance.
Oh, a nice bit of Tasmanian cheddar there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's
First
been
time you had a
good,
chance.
Donald, to see you.
Nice to see you
give
again.
my warmest greetings to Bert. And these autograph books, can I leave them? My daughter, little daughter Karen, who's at the Star of the Sea here in Melbourne.
Right.
And my son, Craig, who's at St Kevin's and looking forward to a job in the taxation department. Mind you, if he passes his exams, I don't know where he'll work. And this is my wife. There's your dog. No worries.
Sir Leslie Colin
No worries.
Patterson, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No offense, Barry, but I wouldn't want to get too close to you after one of your performances, mate. Yeah, good shit, man. Like it. There's a lot to get into. I want to get into some other Australian comedy too, and I'm all ears. I'm not gonna get everything, but I'll try to be as humble as I can about it. Cheers. Thanks everybody. See you on the next one. Later.